Hey 10K fam, I want to bring you another devotional today. We're in the month of November, which of course is the month of Thanksgiving. And this story I've been thinking about, the story found in Luke chapter 17 of the 10 lepers that Jesus heals. And then of course we know only one comes back. And the story tends to be a story that is preached around giving thanks and a lack of gratitude, which I think of course in some parts it is. So I want to read it and I want to talk to you a little bit about what I'm discovering in this story today. So this starts in Luke 17, verse 11. Now on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. And as he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." And when he saw them, he said, "Go show yourselves to the priests." And as they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw he was healed, came back, praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him. And he was a Samaritan. Jesus asked, "Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except this foreigner?" Then he said to him, "Rise and go, your faith has made you well." A couple of things that stand out to me. First of all, we know that these 10 lepers all had faith because they all stood afar. They recognized their leprosy and the breach of relationship. If they came close as lepers, that wasn't allowed in the day, but they still also knew Jesus was the one who could heal them. And so they call out from a distance for Jesus to heal him. And here's the detail I think we often miss. Jesus doesn't heal them in the moment and then they just run off in their excitement. Jesus says, "Go show yourselves to the priests." There's something about the testimony aspect here, the witness aspect, that Jesus wants them to go to the priests, and in their going to the priests, they discover that they are healed. So these men may get a bad rep. I mean, if you've lived with leprosy for a day, which I have not, let alone perhaps most of your adult lifetime, can you imagine discovering in an instant that you're healed? I mean, you would be almost enraptured in your healing, and now all the things you couldn't do that now you can do. And it's not like Jesus healed them right in front of him. Jesus told them, "Go to the priests and be healed." I think one of the things Luke wants us to take away from this is that giving thanks and praising God is an intentional act that oftentimes will require that we go out of our way. It's a discipline. I think they probably are not bad men. They just maybe didn't think about going back and giving thanks. Or maybe they thought about it and they just thought, well, we don't even know where Jesus is at this point. I mean, we don't really have a timeline here. But there was one who was willing to go out of his way, and he did whatever it took to find Jesus, to give thanks and to praise God. And the last detail here is that after Jesus asks these questions, he says, "Rise and go, your faith has made you well." And there is a distinction between earlier in the passage, it says they found that they were healed, and now Jesus says, "Your faith has made you well." This should tell us that there is something about thanks, gratitude, and praise that have an impact on us beyond physical healing. It reminds us that, of course, we are holistic, integrated people, that our physical bodies, our emotional bodies, our soul, and our spirit, and they're all connected in a way that we, of course, don't readily understand. But what Jesus says here is there's something about his faith that required him to come back and give thanks to Jesus, show gratitude to Jesus, and praise Jesus. And Jesus says it made him well. Well, he was already healed, but now he is made well. So friends, for us today, I think as we approach Thanksgiving, there is a wisdom in that old song that says, "Count your blessings, name them one by one. See the things that God has done." And it's beyond just thanks God for life, thanks for my family, thanks for my job, thanks. There is something in the spirit of gratitude that compelled this man to, in his newfound freedom and healing, go back and find Jesus. And I think there's a message in this for us today. What are the things that God has done throughout your life or just recently that you should take time to go and find Jesus, to tell him about, to thank him for, to give him praise for. And of course, there is a part of that is, it's just a good practice. It is good for us to give thanks. But there is also something where Jesus says that it made him well. I wonder what blessings for us are hidden in our sacrificial acts of gratitude. So this November, this Thanksgiving season, take time to count the blessings and name them before God and also before other people. And let's see what God does. Thanks. It was good to be with you all. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving and holiday season. God bless you.